Okay, so here's the next step for this cowhide tumbler. This is actually still kind of damp with triple thick. I sprayed the bejesus out of it to seal it as much as possible. I want you to turn. So what I'm going to do right now, I just mixed some epoxy for another tutorial, and I'm actually just going to build this up a little bit here and here. Otherwise, whenever I put my glitter on here, it's going to have this weird little drop off right there, and I really don't want that. So I'm just going to go nice and thin and kind of just drizzle it so that it fills in the space there. I don't want it literally falling off like it is right now, but this is probably going to take a couple of attempts to get it right. Okay, that's a good start. So I'm going to let that kind of level out while I do this side. Whoa, whoopsie. I'm not really worried about if the bottom gets coated. It can. It's not going to hurt anything for it to get a little something on it. I'm not trying to get it on the hide yet. I just need to build this up because I know it's going to make that weird drop because of the depth here. I'm so worried that my epoxy is going to ruin this cowhide. I may have to I'll probably bring my glitter up and over just to hide that dark line. That may end up going away as this cures and dries, but it might not. I may not have had it sealed quite enough, and I'm mentally prepared for that. I'm just going to smooth out whatever gets on the bottom just because I don't really need any extra lumps there. So I wasn't sure what color I was going to put with this. I have decided finally. I am so in love with one of the new glitters that I got in my subscription in February. I love it so much. It is life, man. I'm trying to put it on everything. It's called State Fair. It's out of stock right this second, but she's pretty good at trying to get that refilled and back in inventory sooner rather than later. It is like pink and green shift, but it also has some blue in it. Man, it's beautiful. All right, yep, I can see that epoxy is definitely okay, it's seeping up underneath there. I hope that doesn't make it very far. If it does, it does. I can't really do anything about it, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of sprinkle, instead of having a harsh line, I'll just sprinkle it obviously solid here and just kind of fade it up like it's supposed to be blended or something. So all right, I'm just getting that up to the edge there, and I've got it up to the hide there. So the color I'm going to use is right here. State Fair. It's so pretty. Like, nothing on camera can possibly do this thing justice. Like I said, it is pink and champagne, blue, green, all of that. I think it's going to be so pretty with this because it's subtle as far as the color goes, but definitely has a pop to it. It's great. So we're going to let this turn for hours and hours and just let it be. And then we'll come back to it for the next little bit of this tutorial on the next step. All right, so we've got the next step of our cowhide tumbler coming up. So I've got a base layer of epoxy underneath here and right here, where I try to build it up a little bit so it wouldn't be such a huge drop off. So we'll see how that turns out. Right here you can see the freckles of the actual cowhide, but these dark spots here, that's me screwing up. I did not seal this as well as I thought I did before adding that layer of epoxy before. So right now I have a fairly thick layer right here and a pretty thin layer right there to try and blend it a little bit. Hopefully this is like almost the end of this tumbler. We'll see. I've never done anything like it, and I haven't bothered looking up YouTube tutorials to see if it's a thing or not. But this is an actual cowhide. If you haven't seen the other tutorials, I did like a part 1 and a part 2. This is an actual cowhide that I literally brushed with Mod Podge. And yeah, that's that. So we are using State Fair glitter from Franz. This thing goes out of stock so fast. It is beautiful. I've used it for so many things. Mostly I love it in a keychain, but I've done several earrings. The earrings I wear to work almost every day are made from State Fair. So I'm going to do this here and a sprinkling up here. I don't want it to be solid all the way up because I want to kind of camouflage my bad spots there. I apologize for the humming in the background. It's starting to heat up here in Texas, and I had to turn on the AC. So I'm going solid right here on the silver band on purpose. I love how this has pink and blue and green and purple and champagne and okay, so that's pretty solid right in there. So now I'm going to use this cute little spoon that I got from Wicked Shimmer Supply. It just came in a couple days ago. I'm going to use it to kind of sprinkle there. I'm going to fill in some of these other spots that didn't quite get covered first. But it's so easy to scoop up a little bit and then just kind of let it go. So to get a thinner sprinkling, you got to sprinkle it from a little higher up. Otherwise you'll end up with it a little too solid. But what I'm trying to do is camouflage where I messed up and let it leak under. I'll probably end up having to do another layer of epoxy here. I don't think this is going to camouflage it enough. We'll see. After it's cured, we'll see how it looks. And now let's do the same thing on the bottom here. Any glitter that falls off, you can just put it right back in, unless it gets contaminated with either another glitter or has like chunks of epoxy in it. I like to have a different sheet underneath when I'm doing the epoxy layer than I do for the glittering layer. I'm literally just shoving this on there like I'm, oop, I missed. Like I'm shoveling something in dirt. If I was doing regular epoxy method, I could probably just take this off and do that, but dump it on there, but I really have it nice and heavy-handed on here. All right, so now I'm going to do my sprinkles here. So I'm definitely gonna have to do another layer here. It won't necessarily have to go over the bottom, but it's definitely gonna need another layer here and a little bit thicker there. I should have probably built it up, but having this glitter underneath is gonna help build it up even faster. And it's weird how what I'm sprinkling right now has more chunky on the bottom than it does on the top. I'm not sure why it did that. Let's just add a little bit more on here so it can have some chunky also. All right, so that is all we're gonna do right now, and we will come back in a little while after this has had enough time to cure that it can be handled, and I'll build that up a little bit more. So this still has quite a ledge on it. This isn't so bad in some spots, but in some spots it's pretty bad, like right there. So I have a little bit more epoxy mixed up to go ahead and try and level that out a little bit more. Like I said earlier, the glitter will help kind of build that up a little bit more than just epoxy by itself. So I'm just going to build that up just a teeny bit more. We're going to start down here. I'll probably have to do it one more time if I had to guess, but that's okay. This cowhide is just so thick naturally that it's taking a bit to kind of compensate for that. There wasn't really an option of getting thinner or thicker when I got this. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna glitter that again. Oh, got a little heavy-handed there. Like I said, some of this is fine and some of it's not. Like right there is extra dippy. I'm not worried about it tapering to the rim here. That's totally fine to taper right there. It'll actually make it a little easier to make it smoother, I think. All right. So that's all the epoxy I need for the moment. And glitter this again. I like doing an epoxy method on chunky for sure because it definitely helps it kind of settle in. I feel like I get a lot less wild pieces when I do it on a little bit heavier handed version, or application, I mean. Yeah, so in a little while I'll come out here and kind of tap that down. Do the same thing right here. I wish this didn't have quite as much fine glitter up there, but that's okay. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm glad it's turning out as good as it is so far, just because this has been just a project on the back burner for quite a while. And I mean, worst case, if it's a failure, sad that I lose a piece of leather, but in the grand scheme of things, it was only $8, so I'm not gonna be completely distraught. So we're gonna let that cure, and we're gonna see if we need a little bit more, which I think we will, because I think I've got a little bit too much here, but I think the top might be okay. Might be able to level that out after it's cured and ready for the top layer. I think that one, this end is a little bit better off than this end. So we will come back to this in a little bit. So here it is in almost finished glory. Not 100%, because as I was messing around with this yesterday, I took it to work. I discovered I have a few little peekaboos of glitter right here. This isn't on here level, but that's okay. I'm not doing anything on it right now. I still need to go ahead and sand this down a little bit. So what I did not record was epoxy and sanding it, and then more epoxy, and then sanding it, and then applying the decal. So quick recap is this is that real cowhide. This is 2 Cricut vinyls, holographic pink and holographic green. This goes really great with the cowhide water slide tumbler that I've done. I've done several of them. It matches that kind of turquoise glitter really, really well. So that's what we've got there. I layered it. This is the Akela Deco or something like that. And then the glitter is State Fair. There's actually a new State Fair irregular cut. It's almost like shattered glass. I like it. I'm gonna try it on something soon. I have used this on so many things. I actually made a little cow tag that's gonna be a keychain that goes with this. Just kind of fun. Cowhide, cow tag, why not? So almost finished. I'm gonna sand it down one more time. I'm gonna see if I can't get this little excess a little smoother. This is all right. My ledge right there where I was trying to camouflage it with the glitter buildup, it's all right. It definitely has flaws that I'll be able to work around next time. But overall, it's really pretty. If you're not just like staring at it, picking it apart, seeing my seam right here, you can kind of see a little angle right there in my word. That's where it came together kind of sharply. Not really a lot I could do about that. I sanded a lot right there. It was a lot worse. But I'm just gonna try and get that a little smoother right there. I don't know if you can quite see it. See that? Just kind of goes up a little bit. So yeah, it's all done. As soon as the leather shop opens back up, I'm gonna go back and get some more. I actually have 2 of the leather pieces like I did in one of the other videos. I actually got 2 of these. I can't wait to try. I literally got these days, probably maybe even a week before everything shut down with the pandemic. So can't wait to give those a shot again. I might actually use one of those to make earrings. We shall see. But that's where we ended up. It's pretty great. If it doesn't sell, I'll definitely gift it. But it's something unique. If you've got someone in your family or in your circle that you want to do something unique for, go for it. This I felt looked really good. There's all kinds of other color options. My husband tried to convince me not to do glitter at all, but he's crazy. I'm not doing that. I gotta have glitter. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching that kind of come together. Hope you learned from what I did wrong and maybe even picked up a few pointers along the way. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment. I'll be happy to try and find the answer. If I don't know it, don't be offended if you don't get an answer. But I'll try my best to do. I know a little bit, but not a lot. That's it. You have a good one.